This is one Kick Legend, and today we're going to talk about how to get faster. So welcome to Kick Legend, where I help you athleticize your art and put art into your fight. For anyone who has followed Nick's Instagram, which you should, by the way, I'll put the link in the video description, you may be wondering, how on earth does he get so fast? And so I thought I'd ask him, and he's going to share some of that today in his training regimen.
Okay. Well, my speed training has always been very important to me. I've always wanted to be fast. Any fighters I've ever watched, any people that I've ever admired, were always really fast. They were speedsters at anything they did, whether it was sports, whether it was boxing, whether it was martial arts. I've always had an affinity for speed. I want speed. So I train in a way that kind of, I train like I'm slow. So I train like with the mentality that I'm too slow and I have to get faster and faster, and it's not good enough and it's not good enough. Always trying to reach that higher level. When I watch myself in a video, I always ask myself, would that fool somebody? Would that speed be able to penetrate and get through their guard and get through the defenses to where they would be a little bit more overwhelmed? And the answer I always come up with is, no, it's not good enough. It's not good enough. I have to get faster and faster. So the exercise that I do, a lot of them include weights, but I don't use like very heavy weights on my hands. I believe 2 pounds is like the max as far as like benefit. I use 2 pound weights and I shadow box a lot with them. And I also use explosive training with that. So if I'm training in JKD, where I'm training the lead strike, I'm using that 2 pound weight. It's not very much, but when I'm using my explosiveness with it, I mean, your body, all your muscles and everything are firing at that higher level all the time. So when you drop the weight and you punch without that stuff, without that resistance, I mean, you feel like, I mean, obviously you're going to feel light and fast, but to be able to do that consistently over time, that's where you're going to get the most benefit. Doing it once in a while, you might get some benefit, but if you really want to be really fast, you would incorporate some weight training. So I weight train about 3 days a week, and I do my martial arts training about 3 days a week. So I'm always training in something, always practicing in some form. But physical fitness obviously is a big key. If you have any excess weight to you, it doesn't help you when you're moving. So you want to get rid of a lot of the excess weight. That'll help you too. But the speed training includes some kind of resistance, something that's kind of pulling you back. So I wear ankle weights. The ankle weights that I wear are pretty heavy because I've kind of gone up in weight with the weights as I've gotten better and more comfortable. And the tissues, the muscle tissue that I have around my hips now have been developed now to where I'm not going to be injured, or I don't have to worry about pulling anything or tearing anything. People always say that the ankle weights is a bad idea because of your knees. Oh, it's bad for your knees. You're right, it is bad for your knees. If you don't know how to kick, if you don't know how to control your kicks and have good body mechanics, that is absolutely true. You should not kick with ankle weights unless you have the proper technique. Now, when you start off with ankle weights, you're going to feel very awkward. You're going to feel like, man, I look terrible. This is not cool. I don't feel cool. That's not how I usually look. You're right. But when the whole idea of this is if you can get to a point where you're kicking pretty fast with weights on your feet, when you take those weights off, there's nobody that's going to be able to stop your kick. There's nobody that's going to be able to see it coming. So if you train yourself on a steady basis that way, you're always going to have that upper hand. That other people aren't doing that. They're kicking. They're doing like 1,000 kicks a day and with no resistance. That's fine too. That's good. I just find that the weights help me to be more explosive. And I'm always trying to keep my intensity high. I want to be able to be able to hit my opponent without him even being able to react to it. Because once I score that first shot or that first speed shot, whether it's a lead strike or a lead kick or even a rear kick, I want him to be so shocked that he got hit with it that he's kind of thinking about that while I'm kind of pummeling him in other areas. So that's how I do it. I go through rounds on the bag with the weights on, more controlled. I take the weights off, I go rounds without it. So I kind of feel the difference, a huge difference. But it also develops your power. I actually kick and punch a very heavy bag. It's about a 200 and some pound bag. It's very heavy. It doesn't move very much when you hit it. But that kind of develops a lot of your power, because when I kick like bags that are 100 pounds, those things bend like they're nothing. But I mean, it looks really cool, but it's all because of the training. It's all because of the consistency that I don't want to miss a day. I don't want to be behind. I feel like when I'm training, I have momentum. I don't want that momentum to stop. I just want to keep it going forever. I do 3 rounds with the weights on, and then 3 rounds with the weights off at about 2 minutes, 3 minutes. It depends on the day how I feel. But then I go with the shadow boxing with the ankle weights on, with the hand weights, both. So I shadow box with them about 2 minutes to cool down, but the last minute of that is usually the cool down. The first minute is really, really just explosive, high intensity, trying to get as fast as I can with those kicks. And I go through all my kicks to make sure they're all really, really sharp, really, really quick, deceptive, and they're powerful. So all those things are really, really important to it. So, and obviously, I do a lot of calisthenics with it too. So.
For those of you who are feeling bad about kind of where you are, one, you shouldn't, right? Everyone's where they are in their journey. But if someone is twice as tall as someone and they can deliver in half the amount of time, they're actually the same amount of fast, right? It's math. So just something to be aware of, right? If you are taller than Nick and can deliver at the same time, that means you're faster than Nick. By the way, if you are, please get some video out there because it's going to look awesome. In the meantime, thanks to Nick here at Dallo Martial Arts in Southfield. Make sure you check them out. Keep your chin down, elevate your striking.